Hi, everybody. It is Friday, the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo. It rained again last night, but it hasn't been raining yet today. But I just came from the warehouse and filled my truck with books in anticipation that things will go well tomorrow at Norm's Rare Guitars in Tarzana. On Ventura Boulevard I don't have the address in front of me, I'm sorry. He's between Reseda Boulevard and Tampa in a little strip mall. He's in the corner of a strip mall, and it is the coolest shop. You got to go check it out, regardless of my book signing, if you can go there. Just his collection of instruments, amps, everything is really unbelievable. So well worth a visit down there. And so I'm looking forward to getting over there. I'll be over there early tomorrow, but theoretically we're going to go from like 2 to 5:30. And if you do come out there, please park on the street. He's just real concerned about the neighbors in the strip mall getting bugged that people are taking up all the parking places. But, it could turn into a couple of hundred people. It could turn into one person. It could be nobody. Whatever happens, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy it. And so I look forward to that. I believe, let me see if I can... Oop, that's not what I want. I'll firm it up. But I'm thinking next Wednesday will be the next live stream, Clubhouse. So put that in your calendar. But today's Cinco de Mayo. Everybody goes, oh, happy Cinco de Mayo. But I don't know if anybody actually knows what this is about. And I thought I would look it up and just give a little tutorial here before I get into my music today. So here we go, because it's fascinating. Cinco de Mayo, or the 5th of May, is a holiday that celebrates the date of the Mexican Army's May 5th, 1862 victory over France at the Battle of Puebla during the Franco-Mexican War. The day, which falls on Friday, May 5th in 2023, is also known as Battle of Puebla Day. While it is a relatively minor holiday in Mexico and the United States, Cinco de Mayo has evolved into a commemoration of Mexican culture and heritage, particularly in areas with large Mexican-American populations. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day, a popular misconception. Instead, it commemorates a single battle in 1861. Benito Juarez, a lawyer and member of the indigenous Zapotec tribe, was elected president of Mexico. At the time, the country was in financial ruin after years of internal strife, and the new president was forced to default on debt payments to European governments. In response, France, Britain, and Spain sent several naval forces to Veracruz, Mexico, demanding repayment. Britain and Spain negotiated with Mexico and withdrew their forces. France, however, ruled by Napoleon III, decided to use this opportunity to carve an empire out of Mexican territory. It's interesting because I'm going to France today for my music again. Late in 1861, a well-armed French fleet stormed Veracruz, landing a large force of troops and driving President Juarez and his government into retreat. Certain that success would come swiftly, 6,000 French troops under General Charles Latreille de Lorenzes set out to attack Puebla de Los Angeles, a small town in east-central Mexico. From his new headquarters in the north, Juarez rounded up a ragtag force of 2,000 loyal men, many of them either indigenous Mexicans or of mixed ancestry, and sent them to Puebla. The vastly outnumbered and poorly supplied Mexicans, led by Texas-born General Ignacio Zaragoza, fortified the town and prepared for the French assault. On May 5th, 1862, Lorenzen gathered his army, supported by heavy artillery, before the city of Puebla and led an assault, the Mexican Revolution. It goes on. The first great revolution of the 20th century began as a revolt against a dictator and ended in a civil war, consuming hundreds of thousands alive as Mexico struggled to live up to its ideals of land and liberty. The battle lasted from daybreak to early evening, and when the French finally retreated, they had lost nearly 500 soldiers. Fewer than 100 Mexicans had been killed in the clash. Although not a major strategic win in the overall war against the French, Zaragoza's success at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th represented a great symbolic victory for the Mexican government and bolstered the resistance movement. In 1867, thanks in part to military support and political pressure from the United States, which was finally in a position to aid its besieged neighbor after the end of the Civil War, France finally withdrew. The same year, Austrian Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian who had been installed as Emperor of Mexico in 1864 by Napoleon, was captured and executed by Juarez's force. Puebla de Los Angeles was renamed for General Zaragoza, who died of typhoid fever months after his historic triumph there. Within Mexico, Cinco de Mayo is primarily observed as in the state of Puebla, where Zaragoza's unlikely victory occurred, although other parts of the country also take part in the celebration. Traditions include military parades, recreations of the Battle of Puebla, and other festive events. For many Mexicans, however, May 5th is a day like any other day. It's not a federal holiday, so offices and banks remain open. And then it goes, why do we celebrate Cinco de Mayo in the United States? In the United States, Cinco de Mayo is widely interpreted as a celebration of Mexican culture and heritage, particularly in areas with substantial Mexican-American populations. Chicano activists raised awareness of the holiday in the 60s, in part because they identified with the victory of indigenous Mexicans, such as Juarez, over European invaders during the Battle of Puebla. Today, revelers mark the occasion with parades, parties, mariachi music, Mexican folk dancing, and traditional foods, such as tacos and mole poblano. Some of the largest festivities are held in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston. And then just last thing here is many people outside Mexico mistakenly believe that Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of Mexican independence, which was declared more than 50 years before the Battle of Puebla. Independence Day in Mexico is commemorated on September 16th, the anniversary of the revolutionary priest Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla's famous Grito de Dolores, the cry of Dolores, referring to the city of Dolores Hidalgo, Mexico, a call to arms that amounted to a declaration of war against the Spanish colonial government in 1810. So it's all kinds of stuff, but I was always curious about it because, I mean, growing up in LA, my parents lived in Mexico for decades and never really understood the reasoning of what the celebration of Cinco de Mayo is. So I found that interesting, and maybe I'll just wake up now. Okay, I'm going to go on now over to France, and I'm going to talk about an artist that I worked with named Julien Clerc. I'll read a little bit about Julien. Born in Paris, Clerc grew up listening to classical music in his father Paul Leclerc's home, while his mother Evelyn Merlot introduced him to the music of such singers as Georges Brassens and Edith Piaf. He began to learn piano at 6 and by 13 started to play by ear everything he heard on the radio. During his secondary school and university days, he met Maurice Vallet and Etienne Rodeguil, two of his main songwriters, and began to compose his first song. He changed his name to Julien Clerc because he was actually Paul Alain Leclerc, is his birth name. But he changed his name to Julien Clerc upon signing a contract with Pathé Marconi, releasing his first album in May of 1968. The album went on to win the Academy Charles Cross Record Award. In 1969, Clerc went on the Olympia stage for the first time to open for Gilbert Bécaud's concert. Despite having been in show business only 1 year, his performance was a great success. He would later return repeatedly to the Olympia for a series of concerts. May 1969 to February 1970, he starred in the highly successful Paris run of the musical Hair, which increased his profile. By the age of 24, Clerc was a major star and had recorded numerous hits, many of which were sold abroad, translated and distributed in other languages. In 1979, he took part in a new collaborative adventure, singing the title song for children's music, Émile Joly, and participating in 36 Front Populaire, a double album musical about the turbulent historical period. Over the years, Clerc's repertoire has ranged from his own compositions to classical French songs. He has performed in Africa, the Americas, and Europe. In January of 1999, Clerc went on the stage at the Theatre des Champs-Élysées and delivered an unplugged acoustic set that was a long way from the rock pop-based shows that he had been giving his audiences for some years. In 2000, he appeared along with many other artists in a number of benefit concerts for the Restaurants de Care, a winter food bank charity. In 2003, Clerc recorded a new album of classic American standards in French. On another front, Clerc was named UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador at a ceremony in Paris in November of 2003 after working for nearly 2 years with the agency on various benevolent projects for refugees. In March 2004, he undertook his first mission to meet with refugees and aid workers in Chad. His mission was documented in Envoy Spécial and was broadcast on national French TV. So that's Julien Clerc. I'm going to play a few songs that we did here. I want to dig this up. I'll tell you who is on this. Again, my pronunciation is total crap. So this first one is called Si J'étais Elle, and it's myself on bass, John Robinson Jr. on drums, Dean Parks on guitar, Michael Thompson on guitar, Khalil Maouen on keyboards. The background vocalists are Carol Fredericks, Khalil Maouen, Marla Popowitz, and Sebastian Demeaux, and Julien Clerc is the singer. So let me pull this one up. It's really nice stuff. I had not heard this in long, if ever. So I'm fascinated digging all this stuff up. It allows me to kind of sit and be fanboy because I don't, I'm so far removed from it that I'm just digging it. Julien Clerc is lead vocals. The lyricist is Carla Bruni, and Julien Clerc is composed the music. So here we go. Si j'étais elle.
Si j'étais elle, je saurais dire tant de ces choses, tant de ces mots qu'elle ne dit pas, de sa voix douce à en frémir. Si j'étais elle, je ne voudrais pas de tous ces songes, de tous ces drôles de mensonges qu'elle s'invente pour s'enfuir. Mais il n'y a qu'elle qui sait se taire ainsi, et elle se cache dans ses silences comme une toute petite fille. Mais il n'y a qu'elle qui sait se fuir comme ça, dans son absence, tout contre moi, tout contre moi. Si j'étais elle, je ne chercherais pas tellement d'excuses, paroles vaines et vains refuges, tristes armes de combat. Si j'étais elle, je n'aimerais pas me voir souffrir, à en crever, à la maudire, pour tout ce mal qu'elle pose là. Mais il n'y a qu'elle qui sait se taire ainsi, et elle se cache dans ses silences comme une toute petite fille. Mais il n'y a qu'elle qui sait se fuir comme ça, et elle s'allonge dans son absence, tout contre moi, tout contre moi. Si j'étais elle, je laisserais que tout se glisse, que tout se passe très en douce. C'est qu'elle est douce, croyez-moi. Si j'étais elle, je comme ça, comment ça serait cet amour-là?
It reminds me, in terms of the track itself, very much of the way Véronique Sanson wrote too. There's a thing that a lot of the French artists do. That's really, I love their structure and their chord changes. It's a really distinctively French. So that's very cool. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, just digging through here. Tout et aller. Let me see where I got this one. Okay, we got that there. Let me see. This is myself on bass, Dean Parks on guitar, Michael Thompson on guitar, JR again on drums, Khalil Mouen, M-A-O-U-E-N-N-E, Mouen, I'm assuming. Khalil Mouen and Sebastian Demeaux on background vocals, and Julien Clerc on vocals on this. So, excuse me while I yips this out. Here we go. Tout en aller.
Un message griffonné sur la page chiffonnée d'un filofax Londres-Halifax. Tu t'es en allé. Quelques notes, deux arpèges, je pianote, brown and beige. Tout ce que tu laisses, le chien s'en laisse. Tu t'es en allé. Me lâcherais-tu? Dis, te fâcherais-tu? Si pour une fois c'est moi qui partais, me quitterais-tu? Dis, me quitterais-tu? Si pour une fois c'est moi qui m'en allais. Un email manque de charme, pas de rimel, pas une larme, un peu mesquin, quitter quelqu'un sans même un baiser. Me lâcherais-tu? Dis, te fâcherais-tu? Si pour une fois c'est moi qui partais, me quitterais-tu? Dis, me quitterais-tu? Si pour une fois moi je revenais. un message griffonné sur la page chiffonnée d'un filofax, Londres Halifax. Tu t'es en allé d'un filofax, Londres Halifax. Tu t'es en allé.
A little Billy Joel vibe there, kind of the Piano Man sort of a vibe. I'll do one more here for you. This one is On serait seul au monde. And it's myself, JR again, Dean Parks on guitar, Khalil Mouen on keyboards, Paulinho da Costa on percussion, Carol Fredericks, Khalil Mouen, and Maria Popowitz on background vocals, and Julien Clerc on vocals. This is also, the album was produced by Umberto Gatica, who I've worked with many times as a producer, but anything I ever did with David Foster, generally, he was the engineer that did all the David Foster stuff. Jerry Hay, Bill Ross, Khalil did arrangements for strings and vocals and horns on here. Mastered by Vlado Meller, mixed by Umberto. That's kind of, it's a bunch of different stuff going on there, but I'm going to go ahead and play you this last tune here. This is On serait seul au monde. Let me see if they've got a listing of... Again, it's Carla Bruni on doing the lyrics, and Julian, the music for it. So here we go.
On serait seul au monde, on jouerait à s'aimer. Toi tu serais la fille, et moi le chevalier. Je ferais l'intrépide, et toi le réservé. Je ferais le timide, et toi la délurée. On serait seul au monde, on jouerait à s'aimer. Tu ferais la charmante, je ferais le charmé. Tu ferais la distante, moi le désemparé. Tu ferais la brûlante, moi je ferais l'inquiet. On serait rien que nous, on jouerait à l'amour. On se ferait sourire, on se jouerait des tours. On saurait contourner des orages d'ennui. On dirait qu'on serait des amoureux transis. On dirait qu'on serait jamais toujours les mêmes, jamais ceux qu'on croyait, jamais ceux qui s'enchaînent, jamais ceux qui se mentent, qui se doivent des mots. Ceux pour qui ce n'est rien de s'aimer tellement trop. On dirait qu'on serait comme des inventeurs, comme des naufragés, des noyés de douceur, comme des assoiffés, des jamais endormis. On dirait qu'on serait des amoureux à vie. Seul au monde, on jouerait à s'aimer. Je serais tout à fait tel que tu me voudrais. Tu serais ma si douce, je te te prendrai la main, je me glisserai sous ta jupe, et toi tu ne dirais rien. Je me glisserai sous ta jupe, et toi tu ne dirais rien.
Oh, I love that. That's really great. So Julien Clerc, I just love, every day you get up and watch news, I sure am glad I can run away to music every day. I'm just looking out the window now, and there's a big bunny sitting right in the middle of the yard, and the dogs are out there. It's funny when they see a rabbit in there, because all these wild bunnies in the yard, but they see them and they just like, they're checking them and just looking at, and they make so much noise that like 20, 30, 50 feet away, rabbit's gone. It just runs off, and they're sitting there just, where to go? They're such a couple of goofballs. Just took off. They must be out wandering around now. So tomorrow, book signing at Norm's Rare Guitars on Ventura Boulevard in Tarzana. Wednesday will be our clubhouse. I'm looking forward, I think on Monday, I'm doing another Zoom talk with the great Ron Carter. I love Ron. He's one of the greatest bass players in the world, and one of the greatest people. And so he contacted me. He said, let's do a part 2. So we're going to jump on that, I believe, on Monday. So I'm excited about that. So it'll be a nice weekend with that, and hopefully the weather will be good for it. It was supposed to be like really warm by Saturday, Sunday, but I'm still looking out at like gray and kind of rainy potential clouds. So we'll see what happens. You know, you think you're in charge, and then you meet nature, and nature goes, no, I don't think so. I think you're just going to do what I do, okay? Take it easy, big fella. So I'm going to get running, and I got lots of stuff to do today. But take good care, and if I don't talk to you before, then have just a great week. And it was great yesterday. I went to the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, which is being this time based in North Hollywood, and got to go visit my dear friend Jason over there, who's playing bass in one of the groups that they've put together for this. And it was really fun to just to go over there and watch all these cats that are, you know, this isn't their profession, this is their passion. You know, they're so excited to be there. And so it was great. And apparently they did a show last night, a concert there, and he said it went really good. They were all excited about that. And I think they're playing at the Viper Room and then the Whiskey. So that's really cool. I mean, to be able to just have that experience in your life, it's real bucket list stuff. So Jason Fontella, I am really happy for you. It sounded great yesterday. You got a long weekend of fun and hang and music. So enjoy every minute of it. And I will talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.